Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern time zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on television two different ways. Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And you can find us on cable channel 182, and that's found close to Huntsville, Alabama. We're there as well. You can also find us on our Newscasters Studio. That's our podcast. And don't forget also, you can find us on the biggest country station in South Carolina. That's 102.9. I'm loving this. I'm digging this station, WZLA. You can find them on the internet, however you want to find them. I've got Victoria Lee Scott with me right now. Victoria's a good friend of mine. She's out in California. How's the weather in California right now?
Absolutely. It's so interesting when, in the salon, when people talk, oh my gosh, it's going to rain all weekend. And I'm like, I don't listen to any of them anymore. I get up, I have a bay window that looks out at the ocean, and there's my weather report. I look outside. I can see what's coming this way from Catalina, what's coming off this way. I can see what's coming up the coast from Mexico and San Diego, or I can look and see what's coming from San Francisco. So you know what? And I don't listen to any of them. And the point is that the weather here is always nice. It really, really is. Our biggest problem, believe it or not, are the chemtrails.
Yeah. And then what's going on here too, it's just really strange how things are. And I know it's deliberate. And I think for one thing, and you and I are both Christians, so we know this, is when God is in control of stuff, well, then there's no problem. But when men start getting and women start getting involved, like they're doing right now with the weather, I know it sounds all weird and everything, but there is a huge difference. They're not God. They don't know how to control these things. So that's just the way it is. But you know something? You remind me of my granddad. My granddad would say, I don't listen to the weather. I just look out and it may rain. He said, it either is or it ain't. So to me, it's 50%. It either is or it ain't. And I grew up with that. And I was kind of like, that does make sense. Why are we doing 40%? Why are we doing 10? Nobody really knows.
Well, yeah, because that percentage is over a certain area. And here you're going 40% and you're preparing for rain. But that 40% where it's going to rain is not in your neighborhood. It's not in your zip code.
But I am glad you got the memo about wearing the black dress.
Yes. Yeah. I figured the black with the black, we could never go wrong. And it's very unusual for me because I usually don't wear black. I'm a big like olive green and khaki kind of girl. But today I got up and I'm like, no, I know where I'm going today.
You look like you'd be right on Fox News. That's why you look.
Well, thank you.
Black dresses. They always say that with the long blonde hair.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm wearing this Barbie look into the ground. I don't care what anybody says. I've owned a hair salon for 30 years. And I ain't changing it now. You know what people don't realize? Women do not realize that at a certain point when they're changing and they're growing into, 50s and 60s, what they do is they think that changing their hair is the way to go about it. But you see, what people don't realize is your hair should evolve with you as you evolve, because there's nothing worse than doing your hair and then you're looking and it's like, oh my God, I've become my mother, or, you know what I'm saying? Or that lady in the neighborhood, but I truly believe, and I have always been fighting that when you're 50, cut your hair short. No. We don't work like that. We're not doing that. I don't recommend that. You know what? If you've got it, wear it. And it's not about having it or don't have it. It's about finding something that is you from the inside, and you can project that through the confidence of the outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. I like when my women finish in their hair and I spin them around, because I don't let them kill my wow factor, okay? And when I spin them around and tears in their eyes, because it goes all together, the inside and the outside. And, we have so many things as women, not just as women, but as people in general, that are, they figured if they keep us multitasking and constantly wanting, then we're easier to control.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want us suffering off into our individualism, because then, the voices change, and it, and I think that's where we're at right now. I think a lot of voices and a lot of Democrats are waking up. And the only reason why I bring that is because I've owned a hair salon here on the beach in Sanctuary City, Long Beach, for 30 years, actually 31 years. And what I've realized is, we are a sanctuary city and very Democrat here. And I am starting to see that my clients, who I've known, were Obama supporters, were Biden supporters, Kamala supporters, and I've always respected them. And, you don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it. But, I've always been a big proponent that if we lose the art of debate, we're left with nothing but violence. And that's exactly what we witnessed. Mm-hmm. So, in watching my clients, there are very few and far between. I've shared stories with you before as far as the Democrats in my chair. Like, be careful, I have a sharp object next to your neck, okay? Choose answer wisely. But my point is that this is something where people have to take not a full step or 3 steps back or anything like that. What they have to do is they have to lift their heads up out of their own little lives and start really making a decision as who they are, because what's happening is this distraction that's going on is going to have backlash.
Yeah, I think so too. I wanted to ask you a question, and we're hearing all these stories that are floating around right now, and this is about scientists that are disappearing, or they're dying under unusual circumstances. So what are your thoughts about what's actually going on with that? Because it's kind of new.
What are my thoughts, really, to be honest with you? Okay. Uh-huh. My thoughts, honestly, are, this happened once before in your and my lifetime. Mm-hmm. This happened when Ronald Reagan introduced Star Wars. If people will go back and look at their history, and there were also a lot of scientists that went mysteriously into the next life, one way or the other, however you want to label it, or however, whether it's suicide or they fell off a mountain, or, while there was, I don't know, whatever. But we know that there are, and actually now I think 2 more have come out this morning. There are 15, I think, totaling now. Yeah, there are 15. It started out, there weren't that many. And as we keep turning around, and all of these scientists are linked. Donna, they are all linked to sensitive projects. They are all linked into nuclear research and space programs and classified defense things. And let's go a little bit further here. Somehow that guy that fought, that shot at the correspondence dinner, mm-hmm. was at one turn an intern at NASA.
Oh, I didn't know.
New information will be emerging.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that. So, and I want to get back to this disappearance of the scientists. Let's go ahead and start talking about that, because I thought that was good. And all of the naysayers are out there saying it was staged and all this kind of stuff. But what do you think really happened there at the correspondence dinner?
I'm having a very hard time, and I haven't come to a conclusion on that yet, because number one, why was J.D. Vance removed from the dais before Donald Trump?
That's a huge question right there.
I don't get that.
What are the scenarios? I mean, why? It's always in the history of the United States. The president, you look for his safety first, then the VP.
100%. 100%. That's not, sorry. No, that was probably one of my biggest. I'm like, well, wait a minute. The president's still sitting there and you're skirting him off and I'm like, what's up with that?
I thought it was funny too. I can't think of her name now, but the blonde who they almost knocked her under the table.
Yeah. Right. And then there was a woman. Okay, so when they finally got Trump going out, there was a woman, and I think it was Judge Janine. Right? And so Melania fell and Donald stopped to pick her up. But him being of the age and probably feeling the way he did, but who I think it was Judge Janine, but there was nobody covering her. I'm like, this woman is a tar. Do you not understand? There was like, why didn't somebody come in and, you know what I'm saying? If you have your administration at an event like this, I would have one protector for each and every person sitting at that table. If anything happened, you're to protect Judge Janine. You're to go after the. Do you know what I mean? I didn't get that.
See, this is my point about this whole thing because, the naysayers are out there saying, oh, that was staged. It didn't seem staged at all to me. It's like, whoa. I mean, because they weren't taking care of people in the way you would think they would.
In the way, that's exactly, that was my point. And then there's video out there of Kash Patel just sitting there and eyeing up the room. I'm like, that better be AI because that man is sitting while the room. And then you got the other people stealing the wine, guzzling the wine off everybody's glasses. Then you got people taking the wine bottles off the table.
It was just odd. I mean, it was one of the oddest things I think I've ever seen.
It was. I don't even know how we could even categorize what that was all about to begin with. I have, I'm not sure. Don, I'll be really honest with you. I've been doing this since 2004. And it was easy for me to go peekaboo, I see you, and for Lawrence to write a whole book about the Obama administration and what was going on. It was easy for me to follow through the Biden administration because it wasn't far off from the Obama administration. Remember, Obama wanted to be in the basement in pajamas with somebody with an earpiece. Okay, mission accomplished.
There you go.
And then from there we had Kamala. I mean, but the whole thing is this narrative. You know what I'm saying? I've come to a point where I just have to really, like everybody, what I recommend everybody else do, is really look and do your own research and come to your own conclusions as far as what's going on, because it is extremely confusing right now. It is extremely confusing. I have no idea. Whatever's happening to the Democrats on the left over there, I mean, whatever, they're all getting so dang old. I mean, they really are, but there's no backup plan for who's going to come and take the place. I mean, you got this one over here or that one over there, but there is no, and this is what bothers me, is we are America, Donna. We have the finest of the fine, the best of the best. We've schooled, we've learned, we've lived, we've experienced, and yet I'm looking at our country and going, you have to be kidding me. If this isn't tearing down America from the inside out without firing a shot, I don't know what is. And I mean that, because people around this world have been after to collapse America since its inception. Let's put it that way. Okay. And we have fought off many things. And when we are liberators or where we are occupiers, I mean, we've gone through so much in the 250 years that we are about to begin to celebrate. But the problem is I'm having a very hard time wanting to get out there and celebrate, because I don't know where the government, we the people, are standing anymore. We are so fractured. We are so this organization or stand for that or stand for this, but we're not standing together. And how much clearer could it get? United we stand, divided we fall.
Well, I mean, it's pretty evident. Let me ask you a question, because it really doesn't seem like anybody has a game plan to me. I'm not seeing the left having a game plan, nor am I seeing the right have a game plan.
No. And what do we do after Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be around forever, Don.
Well, let's do a scenario. Let's do a scenario here. Let's pretend, and heaven forbid, let's pretend something did happen to President Trump. What would happen? Is he the glue that's holding everything together?
That's what I'm not sure about.
Do you feel like he has the right advisors? And let me start off with this, because you and I are both Christians. Okay, he has spiritual advisor. I'm seeing this. I don't know what your views is on this Paula, whatever her last name is. She's supposed to be a minister. I don't get good vibes with her. There's something wrong with her. Maybe it's just me. What are your thoughts about her? Do you feel like she's the advisor he needs? It seems like she's always there.
Always.
Is she the person that could be causing the issues? Because I'm just telling you, I've listened to some of her sermons, what I can handle of it. And I mean, she's all about the money.
All about it. It's really interesting what's going on. I mean, you know what's really crazy? All right. I've been doing this a long time. The Obama administration and Lawrence's book and everything that we did through all of that was a point that I was able to report on as a citizen journalist about the one thing that Barack Obama did when he left office as president of the United States was he left us perfectly divided. Now, through Joe Biden, nobody was realizing how the very busy little bees were very busy. I honestly fear right now, I'll be real honest with you, Donna, with Donald Trump, and I know how much he does for this country and this and that, but I have never felt the divide as much as I feel now.
I see what you're saying, because I feel that way too. But if you ever had that one friend or this one acquaintance, it didn't matter what you did. You could give them $1 million. They would still gripe and complain because you gave it to them in the wrong hand.
Right. Those are people that half this country has developed. It's a victim mentality. And when you raise, and we've talked about this before, this victim mentality is not just something that there's a few people in society that think that way. This victim mentality has become a way of life, not for 1, 2, but going into the 3rd generation.
It's been there a while.
It's been there a while. Mm-hmm. So, of course, now you've got them all, and then you spoil them through all of the COVID and all the money and all the free this and the free that. And now, what are you going to do now? Now that technology and the world is moving along and you have not guided and protected your citizens, you haven't even instructed your senators and your congressmen. You sit there and talk, seriously, you give me all those congressional seats and you let me sit there and talk to these congressmen that have been sitting there for 30 and 40 and 50 years. They did not evolve with our country. And therefore...
But there are some decisions I don't understand about President Trump. Okay, so who was the lady? Okay, she was in Virginia. Sharp lady. She was like the... she was running for governor or Senate. I forgot who it was. I almost said her name. She was a black lady. I'm talking sharp. This lady is sharp. And President Trump did not put his name behind her. He put it behind the other person. Same thing going on right here in South Carolina. So he's one for the Gipper, one for Lindsey Graham. I mean, and this guy.
How about Steve Hilton here in California?
I don't get it. Why is he not putting his name behind the people who really, really would forge ahead on his agenda?
That's my point. My point is that there's just so many things that continually keep dividing us, and that's what probably is getting me the most. The most is what's not being discussed, what's not being brought up. That probably bothers me more. If he would have an opinion and say, hey, the reason, I mean, he tells us everything else. So give me the reason as to why you're not voting for her, or give me the reason why you're not supporting her, or give me the reason why you are supporting him. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's not what we're getting.
I don't get it. The woman's name was Winston Sears. She was sharp as a tack, very conservative.
How did they shut her up so fast?
Well, Trump didn't put his name behind her.
Exactly.
The moron who actually won, or actually wound up not getting the seat. If he had put his name behind Winston Sears, that would have been a straight. It's almost, in some ways, he's handicapping him on his own self.
I don't get it. If there was, if he was doing all of this and you could see that what he's planning, like to come after him, to continue the legacy. But the thing is all I see is what he's able to do. And that's what bothers me, because what does happen? What happens when it is his time? I mean, he can't run again. And who is being groomed to fill those shoes?
Okay, let me give you another scenario. Okay, this is the incident that happened over the weekend. I'm not thinking it's a Democrat organization that did this. I'm thinking it's an underground Republican bunch who are like the status quo. That's why they got J.D. Vance out before they did President Trump. It's just weird to me. And I want to blame the Democrats. I really do, because
I don't think this is a Democrat thing, to be honest with you. I have to agree with you. It don't feel Democrat. Doesn't feel stupid enough.
Yeah, you got my point. You got it. 100%. Here. I'm just like, the whole thing is like, I mean, it makes you wonder. You're just going, maybe I'm way off out in left field. I don't know, because there are some, I'm telling you, I'm really not a Republican either. I'm not a card-toting Republican person.
No, I'm a constitutionalist.
I am
constitutionalist. Give me the Constitution.
But I'm not a Democrat at
Nope. Let's
go ahead and go into a commercial break. Time flies with you. Let's go ahead and go to a break. Yep. We've got to go back in just a few minutes. So y'all hang in there with us.
Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
You know, finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care. Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas. Good afternoon. We're back. My name is Donna. This is Victoria Lee Scott right here with me. Victoria, I wanted to say something. Okay, both my grandmothers were all about common sense. And they would actually say, you can have every degree in the world, but if you don't know, if you have no common sense, you're worthless. And one of my grandmothers used to say this all the time. She would say, in the name, when somebody would do something stupid, she would say, in the name of common sense. She said that all the time. And both grandmothers passed. And I just wonder. One grandmother was a Democrat. The other one was a Republican. I do not believe my other one would be a Democrat now. She would be scratching her head like, I'm not sure which side I'd want to be on. But what would they think if they were alive now and in this present world? I mean, they would not know what to say. I mean, it would just be like, they'd be shaking their heads with, this is total nonsense, especially when COVID hit. I mean, they would just.
I think that they would probably be more upset of the loss of patriotism in this country than anything else.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Because they were both very
patriotic. That would probably hit the hardest. If they were to see today, I think the loss of our country, because before, our generation was the last to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Our generation was the last educated on the Declaration of Independence. And, you know, and after that, you know, my daughter went all through school and didn't get American history until 11th grade in high school. 11th grade, 1 year when their brain is mush. They've been there too long. They can't wait to get out. And that's when you're going to slap them with all of American history.
I remember
that's why they don't know. That's why they don't know anything. What I don't blame these kids.
No, I don't either. I remember in third grade hearing about Hitler, and I remember thinking this scared me to death. I remember thinking, I hope that don't ever happen here. Well, we're in a sinkhole. We're right in it right now,
and we are. And I really wish that I could see. You know, I really thought by now we would start seeing this overabundance of patriotism, you know, because for the 250 years and, you know,
it's a couple of months down the road.
And nothing. As far as
in 1976, I was in the 12th grade. And it was all about red, white, and blue. Like my whole wardrobe, every single thing I wore was red, white, and blue. I had red, white, and blue necklaces, you know, those love beads I used to make and all that kind of stuff. Red, white, and blue. That's what everybody wanted. I'm not seeing any of that now.
The bicentennial. I was on the drive. What is it? In New York on the road that goes along the river for the fireworks show in Manhattan. It was absolutely incredible, the amount of patriotism.
Mhm.
But you know what? People also too, because here's what we've done. So now you're going to use it right before anything big as a, as a hook. You're not using it to promote and to help heal America, because if you were, we would be seeing a lot more attention on this subject. We would start seeing a lot more, just a lot more stirring, just a lot more things going on. And we're not seeing that. We are probably going to see everything jammed into the week of.
Yeah, probably so. Oh, but you
And
see,
then it'll be gone right after it again.
but then you'll see all these dumb people walking around with signs, saying no kings and all this, which makes that. Okay, I'm going to mention my grandmothers again. If my grandmothers were alive right now and they saw a bunch of people, and mostly the elderly, and God bless them, here in Abbeville, about 10 people showed up, and most of them looked like they were ready for the nursing home. And I'm not being harmful. I'm just saying they were with walking canes, they were in wheelchairs and all this kind of stuff. Well, I mean, and they're like neighbors, so we just like waved at them, when we were passing by. But they weren't grabbing the crowd. And I think that's what they're hoping. I think they're hoping that there would be more momentum, but most of these people don't even know what they're protesting about. I mean, they're just out there for the fun. I guess you get $100 or whatever,
Oh, and that's what it's come down to. It's come down to it where they really don't even know. I mean, I have watched so many interviews with people that they don't even know the cause, but because if they're there for a certain amount of hours, by the end of the day, they'll have $200 in their pocket.
You just show up.
Just show up. If you want to earn an extra 50, bring a baseball bat. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. There's a whole. Really, I mean, this is a network. These are paid protesters.
Well, this makes
They're
you
the
know
same
about
protesters at every protest. What do they do? Just fly them all over the place?
Hey, see you at the next event. That's fine. I think that's what it is. But this is so funny, though. It's like, I mean, okay, so when I was with corporate with GTE, okay, they're Verizon now. I was with them. We would have events across the country with the different stores. Well,
Sure.
guess what? We all had the same tents. They were all the same color. It had to be the same color red. It had to be the same color blue. I mean, because it was a corporate event, and we had to wear the same color shirts, same color pants. It was all united like that. If we had signs, it would have to be the same sign. That's what I'm seeing here. It's like it's a corporate event from a company being put out. Because they have the same tents, they have the same, like this time it was black signs with, the white lettering on it. So
Right.
one time it'll be white sign with purple. I mean, it'll be just whatever, but the same dragon outfits and things like that people are wearing, like Halloween, they're turning into a Halloween event. But the point is we know it's manufactured by somebody. Who is it manufactured by? I mean, if you're going to have the same tents, the same flags, the same this, the same that, it's put on by somebody who went to Vistaprint or something and had a bunch of tents made. I want
to know who's supporting all the who's supporting all that stuff by the next day. There are professional signs made. There are everything that is made. So why aren't we? It really pisses me off. Excuse my language. But as the president of a social media podcasting news network, it infuriates me, Donna. It infuriates me that we have a young man in a sweatshirt and an iPhone exposing more fraud and abuse across this country. And I am so surprised at the lack of support for exposing. We are not talking about 50, 100. We are talking about incredible amounts of money. We are wondering why our streets and our people and our elderly and everybody is falling apart. Is because we are not nurturing. That's the same thing I was talking about before with Congress. Yes, we cannot and we will not get anything done because you have totally hijacked all of those seats. And now, what did Saul Alinsky say? Pick a target, America. Polarize it, Congress and the Senate, and then make it your own. We're almost there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's if you stop educating this country on the foundation, what it takes to move this country forward, then then what's going to happen is you're going to start getting exactly what we are seeing now. And now you have a generation of young people that really don't care because they can sit home. They don't really care, and they can make millions off the internet now. They doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, but it's always short term. They always wind up dying. How many TikTok people have committed suicide? I mean, it's no, something is not jiving. Something is not right because I don't think they feel fulfilled. First of all, you're getting a bunch of people who've never had anything in their entire life. And then all of a sudden they're making a bunch of money. They don't know what to do with it. They're not being educated.
Well, that's the whole thing.
An extra payment. You'll shave interest off of your house. You'll have it paid off 10 years. Think about, okay, you got yourself a 30-year mortgage. Just think about it that way. But I've been smart enough to make one extra house payment or make two payments twice a month. You're tricking yourself into making one extra house payment. You're going to shave at least 10 years off of that mortgage.
Right.
Look at the money you're saving. That's not being taught.
Well, that's it. I mean, I remember my daughter in high school coming to me with an envelope, not even to know how to address an envelope.
Mm.
You are in what grade?
How about handwriting?
Right, no cursive. I worked in a restaurant, with my girlfriend's place, and I went on a fun day at she runs a baseball field, and I went, and a kid comes up, and he orders everything, and he taps to pay on the machine, and then I turned it around for him to sign. I said, "Here, sign." He said, "I don't have a signature." I said, "What do you mean you have a signature?" He's the generation that was not taught cursive. So I told him, I said, "You go home and you YouTube how you're going to get a signature, because you're going to need that signature in your life, and don't let anybody ever tell you your signature. That's your name. That's who you are." The kid walked away like he learned. I mean, I guarantee you he went and looked it up. But that's not my point. My point is that here's a kid that I don't have a signature. You're in high school. What do you mean? You are flashing your own credit card. What do you mean you don't have a signature?
Everything is turned completely around. I mean, it really has. Everything goes in full circle. And I'm going to say this because I remember kids laughing at their grandparents for not knowing how to write a check. Well, now it's your grandkids who don't know how to write a check.
Right. 100%. So, I don't even think half of them anymore.
When I grew up in the best of times, we most certainly did. I mean,
well, you want to know what I think what our benefit was? We weren't born and had to adapt to it. We were born, so if we were smart, we lived with it. We used it. And that's why you and I are sitting here doing it, doing what we do. Because that's going back again to Congress and to the government and to everything else. There's my point. You have to, you have to put it in to, if you don't put the time, effort, and energy in, such as our country, into those seats in Congress, and I know this is a sticking point for me, but I do believe it's a very big downfall of America. Those seats were meant for people to come from their elected towns and cities all over the United States, to be chosen to go and to represent the voice of the people from where they come from. Then the next job is to have all these different voices of people who bring them to Washington to have and to do things to create a cohesive that's going to be for all of America. Mm-hmm. But what has happened is we have been divided. We have had people that have sat in seats for way too long. Term limits are needed. You must bring new blood and new people in order for this country to evolve at the pace that it is supposed to evolve with. You cannot sit there with generations and allow them to control things, and then you're going to sit here with a 90-year-old in Congress trying to talk sense to an 18-year-old. Okie dokie.
Oh,
I mean, I'm talking truth. What do you expect?
And I'm talking about it's not just on the left side; it's on the right side.
It's on the. I am talking both sides.
I mean,
did you see them propping McConnell up for years? I mean, serious? Are you serious? Put a buzzer on him, and somebody push the buzzer.
Okay, I'm going to let you start using. I'm going to let you start using a Southern term. A woman says when a Southern woman says, "Bless their heart." You know what we really mean?
Bless your little heart.
Bless your heart, sweetie.
But that's the problem that's happened. And now, all right, so we were able to see that how they actually hijacked and were able to keep all those seats and do this and do that. Mm-hmm. You see, and now that's exactly what's coming next now. Now that they already have that, now they're going to hijack even more. And the way they're going to hijack this country is by dividing us, by separating us. That's their mission, whether we want to accept that or not. You think there is so much truth to the haves and the have-nots.
Okay. You know something? It's not only the separation between the Democrats and the Republicans. Now there are 4 divisions within the Republicans. There are 4 divisions within the Democrats. And your independents, they can't decide where to go.
No.
It's just like everybody's divided. Everybody's looking like, you can get into an argument with which would you prefer, Coke or Pepsi? You can get into an argument about everything nowadays.
Everything.
I mean, I can say, let me just ask you, Victoria, which would you prefer, Coke or Pepsi?
Coca-Cola.
I see. I do Pepsi.
Yeah.
You want to have a fight about this? Because
I really don't care, because I'll drink either one of them. But you asked me what I prefer, but I really don't care I'll drink either one of them. I don't really care.
That's me, and I think it all started. Okay, because I saw this growing up. Okay, so Dad Democrat, Mother Republican. It was just like it was constant division, and this is like in the 60s and the 70s. It was just like, and I would be like, and then Daddy Bush runs against Bill Clinton. Okay. Yeah. I didn't like either one of them. Daddy Bush was talking about this one world government. And he was talking.
Yeah, but Bill Clinton played that saxophone.
You got to admit that.
He was the new hip guy in town. You got to admit it.
He was the coolest, but I voted for Ross Perot. But I'm thinking, yeah, but look at it this way.
Hey,
I know. Everybody says that, but I just could not dig either one of those guys. No. So Ross Perot, again, I think I mentioned this to you before, and you knew about it. Yeah. So a bunch of his employees were kidnapped. And Ross Perot was very much like us. He didn't want to have to wait on the government for anything. It was taking too long. He was afraid he was going to lose them, to die, whatever, get killed. And so he's like rich. So he just goes on and just gets his own team to get out. He didn't want to wait. And that's when I said, I want that guy to be president. I was about 24, 25, something. I don't remember how old I was. But anyway, I voted now. I was raised in that household. You vote, and well,
in the town I grew up in, I grew up with Alphonse D'Amato, senator from New York. And my town was a mile square. I knew him as Tippy. I was his babysitter. Mm-hmm. And when I was a kid, his wife was a babysitter for us. I mean, it was incredible. So as soon as you turned 18 in my town, you went right down. I mean, you're a registered Republican now. I mean, I don't even know if I ever knew a Democrat from the town I came from.
Yeah, but people don't run on substance anymore. They run about stupid stuff.
And that's been the whole mission. You just distract them, keep throwing money at them. And look how and they've done a very good job at it, because look at this.
But I believe in going out and meeting the politicians. I think you got to. But I've been to so many of them, I would almost just start laughing. It's like what do politicians do? They hug necks, kiss babies. They do that. Every time they're out on, I don't care who they are. And I've seen some of them. Let's pretend this is the baby. I've seen some of them like, well, let me hurry up and get the photo op. You got the camera on me? Kissing the baby. I mean, you practically see them doing that. It's important to kiss the babies, not like Joe Biden did, like he had his hands all over babies, and that was disgusting. But anyway, that's what it's turned into. Let's go into another commercial break.
Well, I got to tell you a story when we come back. Okay.
All right. When we come back, we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host, Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Talk Show. So glad to have Victoria Lee Scott with me. Okay, now I know you've heard this phrase, the world's a stage. The whole world is a stage. Do you believe we're so now? Or do we just have actors and actresses in place?
Well, that's the way it would seem, because as far as excuse me, as far as freedom goes, that's what has been compromised. Mm-hmm. So even though, let's just take for instance here in California, we were all gung-ho because we thought Arnold Schwarzenegger, the big Terminator, was going to come and clean up California. And then what happened, Donna? Terminator came in and they wouldn't let him do anything. And he left accomplishing nothing. So my point is that we have polarized, and now we're going to suffer the consequences about that, because we are not coming to the table for solutions that are going to work. How? First of all, you got a guy that was sitting there with his shotgun, handguns, and everything else kind of guns at the White House. You know, we've got that. I honestly think, to be honest with you, because I am very, very close to the scientists with NASA, because I'm if I didn't go back to school for theology, and if I was younger and I would have became an ancient astronaut theorist. That's where my true heart lies. So when I'm starting to see men that I have listened to for all these years, especially David Wilcox, and you're telling me he committed suicide, no, I'm not buying any of this. I'm not buying any of this. I think this scientist stuff that's going on, and the White House and this whole thing, I think one is trying to balance out the other. Okay? Take the focus off, take the heat off. Same thing when you had the Clintons. The Clintons went before Congress. Don't you think that should have been headline news? 2 days in a row?
It should have been. I mean,
yeah, but again, they threw something on top of that. We went to war or something happened. But you know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm trying to say about, and I love President Trump and some of the things he's done, but there have been opportunities he could have paraded it. I mean, he could have been like all over it and owned it, and we would be done with all this mess. So I mean, what the heck? What's happening? Is it social media? I mean, what's killing us here?
I'm not. Oh, that's what's getting so scary, Donna, because I don't even know with those who are running things. You know what it feels like? It feels like a runaway railroad. And now you've opened up AI to all these people. And now, do they really know what they have unleashed?
No.
I don't think they do. And I don't think they have a backup plan. That's even crazier.
This is another thing. This is my grandmother's here. I'm speaking from them. Okay, so my grandmothers used to say you can't have more chiefs than Indians on anything.
On anything.
And they were fussing about that back in the 70s and 80s. They would say, well, I mean, you got to have one chief with the Indians. Now you got to have some people supporting the chief. That's the way it is. It feels like we got a whole bunch of chiefs that really don't know what they're doing.
Because we're not united. So everybody is trying to step up because they're trying to do the right thing or they're trying to get their voice heard. But the problem is we are fractured.
Okay, the problem is we don't hear their voice until it's time to run for office. And then after they get in office, they're spending the rest of the time getting prepared to run for the next round.
Correct.
4 to
And in
6
between that, they have to do all kinds of things in order to keep the money flowing to their campaigns. I mean,
And then these people who are giving, and this is another thing. If I could be in charge of everything, this is one thing I would do. First of all, term limits.
Term limits, number one.
What your name is, you don't need to be running an office. I'm just telling you, you don't even need to be running your own household. You need help. Okay. Mm-hmm. Another thing is the amount of money that's contributed to campaigns. There needs to be a cap on that. There needs to be, okay, here's what we're going to do. If I could be king for a day or queen for a day, I would say, all right, you're all going to get the same amount of money. All right, I'm going to give you all $1 million. I want to see the one that uses it up the first. I'm going to say, you probably don't need to be the president. You probably don't need to be the governor. You don't need to be the dog catcher in this town because you're showing that you can't handle money. Okay. It's a level playing field. If you screw it up, then you screw it up. There needs to be a camp on that. Like in Alabama, for instance. Okay. They say they're a red state, but they're really not a red state.
No, not now, huh?
They're a bluish purple state, what they are. But this is because you've got people in office who were Democrats until very recently, and they're doing it the Democrat way, and so it was hard to live there. Like the governor didn't have any idea why so many illegal Haitians were coming in. She had no clue. And you're like, wait a minute, you're the gov? You're the gov. Okay, everybody calls her Mama Ivy, but anyway, so you're the gov, and you don't know why, really? Because I'm just telling you. On my watch, I would have known.
Right.
There would be a little bit of comment, and I'd be scared to death. People would think I was bringing them in. I'd be going, hold it, let's stop this. We've got too many of these people coming in.
Right.
And then at your city council, I'm putting it to the lowest common denominator. Okay, so you've got city councils who were voted in by citizens of their town, not the illegals, but the citizens of their town. But they're taking care of the illegals and telling Donna, Jesus loves everybody. I realize that. I got it. But the thing about it is people in your town who voted you in, don't you feel like you need to be on their side some of the time? See, I can't go to city council meetings. I can't go to anything like that because, it's just not right.
No.
But when the citizens of the United States vote you for whatever it is, dog catcher up to President of the United States, they should be beholden to the citizens,
right?
Not everybody else.
100%. But that's what we've done. We have done this. We have expanded government. We have given so much money. We have created, everybody has to outdo the next and created this. And here's where we find ourselves. And the majority of the people, let's face it, I have been screaming at this desk for a very long time. The people in the past decade that have been put into positions across this country at the mayoral level are unqualified. That's what the Obama administration did. They kept, everybody gets a trophy. Everybody does this. Everybody, no child left behind. And you know what? We have people that were put into positions. And now when those positions are called upon by their communities, they are incapable of coming up with solutions.
I don't know what to do. They
don't know what to do. I live here in Long Beach, California, and if the ridiculous projects that I see and our potholes are so bad here in Belmont Shore, so bad, the crime has gotten so bad. but yet this mayor keeps funding these ridiculous. Why are you painting rainbows on our streets and crosswalks? We don't need rainbows. What I need is some tar to fill these holes is what I need.
But wait a minute, that's common sense.
It's common sense. There you go.
Yeah.
And let's face it, let's go back to, I think, Thomas Jefferson. Didn't he write a book called Common Sense?
Paine. His last name was Paine. I've got the book.
Oh, yeah, Thomas Paine. I'm sorry.
Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine, right. Common
it's not a thick
Sense.
book. It's not a thick book. I mean, it's like maybe a half inch or something like that. It's almost a booklet. But I'm going to tell you what, you can learn so much. Everybody, please, I'm begging you, get the book Common Sense by Thomas Paine.
Yeah, totally.
You will learn a lot. You know what? We've got about 3 minutes left in this segment. You need to tell everybody about the Newscaster Studio, man. You guys are jumping over that.
Oh, yeah, well,
is running it.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, you know what's really interesting? I feel very honored and very blessed, and I have so much gratitude because the Father has brought to me people that are really in need, and that's our veterans. Mm-hmm. I have had UBE lube guys come to me, and their lube stuff, they're all American packaging for our veterans, and and then now we have a new studio coming up called Wild Jaeger Adventures. These are guys that take our veterans on fishing or camping or boat or all kinds of trip called Wild Jaeger Adventures. So they have just come on board. And then the third one, which I'm hoping to get, which is called Liberty Projects. And Liberty Projects are equestrians, high-level equestrians that bring horses to deal with veterans. So I've been very blessed in our 250th year anniversary to be able to bring the beginning is just these three groups in support of one another. And I also have Dragonland, which is Mel Bernstein, who runs Dragonland, which he's been on my show a few times. America's most armed American. And he actually is running an event for veterans in September. And right now, the three groups I'm dealing with are all looking to get together, for them all to get together at Mel's. So the Newscasters Studio, to me, bringing people together that then can find and integrate with one another. That's what I want. We need to reunite America, and that's what I stand strong on for the Newscasters Studio. I had no idea when I began this journey years ago that citizen journalist voices would become so important to the structure and to the media and to the knowledge of our country. And I have been blessed to be on board with you from the very beginning of this journey. And every day when I see I'm on with Donna today,
Good morning, sunshine.
Yeah. I love my good morning sunshine.
Everybody can use a little sunshine. We're so tired of all of the drab old people who've been in office forever, and they don't know what the heck they're doing. Yeah, I mean, we need new blood. So here's what happens. Okay, like back in the day, the mothers would get a little older. They had daughters. They would groom the daughters. Now, not only did you have the mothers grooming the daughters, the grandmothers were actually grooming their daughters and their granddaughters. We don't have it anymore.
Well, that's it. And I am who I am. And the majority of the woman that I am and the mother that I am was my grandmother Santa. My grandmother raised me, and I still cook, and I can just hear I hear one going, put sugar, the other one, no sugar in the sauce. And I'm not kidding, I do.
Some grandmothers are just like that. Yeah. I mean, they're exactly.
And we don't have that. So I try very much to keep a lot of that alive with Justin Angel, and even with sauce and her making the family sauce, she loves to do that. But that you're right. That is what's missing. And now we have a fractured America. And if I can build a news company where I can bring voices that have a safe space for them. I mean, did I ever think 20 years ago when I started this that one day a kid with a sweatshirt and an iPhone would be sitting there and filling in the president of the United States? I mean, is this not America or what?
This is America. Okay, now, so got 30 seconds. So how can folks get in contact with you?
They can get in contact with me at thenewscasters.com, or you can email me at Victoria. We have many studios open. Victoria at thenewscasters.com. Instagram, social media, we're on it all. Find us, like us, love us, support us, let us keep doing what we're doing. It's a pleasure and an honor, Donna. Thank you.
Well, thank you for everything you guys do. Absolutely. I treasure your friendship as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. And thank you guys so much for watching. Continue sending email, Donna at donnasedge.com, Donna at donnasedge.com. Goodbye, sunshine. Hope you have a great day.